Saw you. Hey guys, Chris and PJ here live in the Dream Giveaway Garage.
Hello everyone.
Hours left, PJ, 10 hours.
10 hours
10,
left.
53 minutes. To win a trip to Daytona. Daytona is a city in Florida, which when we fly you there, if you're the winner, there might be a race happening there, a big race.
That has 500 miles?
It could.
But we can't say it's the Daytona 500.
We can't call it the Daytona 500 Dream Giveaway because that's intellectual property. But we can tell you, you can win a trip to Daytona with a VIP race experience, 4-day, 3-night hotel stay and all that good stuff. And yes, I know, what if you're in Orlando and you win? Well, we'll figure something out. We won't fly you from one terminal to the other. But this is a great one. And it's brought to you by Racing America. That's a great website. You can go there. All the racing action that you guys need to check out there. Please support Racing America. 0 days, 10 hours, 52 minutes.
That's it.
Daytona Dream Giveaway brought to you by Racing America.
And when is
no,
this
you don't win the Mustang.
Can you check the official rules for this just so we can see the drawing date?
Yeah, let's see when we're going to draw the winner on this. That would be section 6.
That would be.
What do you know? On or about January 24th, 2023.
So that gives you a good week before the Daytona 500.
We're doing this one fast so that the person, whoever wins, that we can get them to Daytona for whatever's happening there, a week in which there's races, right?
That's right.
That's right. Guys, please get your entries. And if you're on our email list, check your emails and check your spam folders for special emails from Dream Giveaway today. There might be a special bonus ticket offer that I can't say on live television. Right?
That's right. Robbie says, what a fun drawing for a cool trip.
You know, it really is. And PJ and I were talking before we went live. We haven't done a trip drawing in a while.
No, and the last one we did
Don't say. Let's see if anybody knows.
All right, go for it.
Okay. What was the last trip drawing that we did at Dream Giveaway?
Well, we did have actually a T-Rex truck that included a trip.
Oh, that's right, the Safari. Okay,
That's right.
So there's one. What was one before that? Anybody remember?
Yeah, you're looking for giveaways that are just solely
Just a trip giveaway. Yeah. Been a while. We're going to keep talking, and if someone gets it, maybe we'll send you a Rhino T-shirt, huh?
Yeah, that's pretty interesting.
That sounds good.
You might have to scroll back in the past winners page.
You might have to do that. Classic muscle cars. A lot of confusion on this 442 W30.
Chris, the automatic is really throwing people off.
It's throwing people off, and here's the thing. Raise your hand if you know what 442 stands for. Who's the first person to tell me? I know you know, PJ. let our audience say the answer. I know you know the answer, PJ.
James Rain says Indy 500.
No, we haven't given that away yet, so not a current one.
We haven't given one of those in the past away, so.
Yeah, correct. Okay, so 442, what's it stand for, guys? Someone's going to tell us. Come on.
Well, let's break it down. There's 4 things of one thing, there's 4 things of another thing, and there's 2 things of another thing.
That's correct. So there's 4 of something, 4 of something, and 2 of something.
And that's the reason why it came 442.
Hey, you can guess any one of those 3 things and put the answer if you don't know all 3.
Cars back in the day didn't have 4 of those things and 4 of those things and 2 of those things?
No, in the 50s, no way.
Really?
No way.
So this was pretty special.
Was pretty special, and a hot thing to have if you were a youth in the 60s, you know. So, we got to wait for someone to give us one of the answers.
Do you want to take a walk over there and look at it?
The olds?
Yeah.
And let's show them the 4 things, and the 2 things?
Yeah, let's do that.
Except ours. I'd like to show them the website first,
okay,
then we'll show them. Nobody knows. 442, what it stands for.
Robbie says,
come on.
4-barrel carburetor.
Got it.
4-speed manual transmission, and dual exhausts.
Got it, Robbie. You're on top of your game, Robbie. You're absolutely correct. So, let's talk about General Motors' history in that A-body segment and that youth market in 1964. In late 1963, the Pontiac GTO comes to market. It puts a big V8 engine into a mid-size GM vehicle. In that case, it puts a 389 cubic inch into a Le Mans, right? Hence the GTO. Well, the GTO took off, and there's a pun. It was so popular that the other divisions of General Motors had to quickly come up with their versions of an 8-body sports machine. So of course Chevy came up with the Malibu, Buick came up with the, what did Buick come up with? I should know that too, I own a Buick. I'll think about that and I'll have
Dave
that
says
answer.
a Cutlass also.
Well, so the Cutlass was the equivalent to the Le Mans, an upscale version of it. So Oldsmobile came up with the 442 in 1964, and every 1964 Oldsmobile Cutlass 442 was a 4-speed. Well, the name stuck. However, the restriction to only build those cars with 4 speeds was lifted. So in 1965, nearly half of the 442s that were built were automatics. Second year of production. So that 442 having a mandatory 4-speed manual stick shift was only for the very first year, 1964. What do you got, PJ?
Floyd definitely says Rabbit types faster than me, but the second year of the 442, they offered the automatic.
There you go. So, here's the other thing we're going to talk about. So, how can a 442 have an automatic? Floyd just told you. And I just told you, and PJ just told you, from 1965 forward, a 442 could be ordered with a stick shift or an automatic. It didn't matter that the name said 442. That's what Oldsmobile stuck with because everybody loved the name.
Could have been a 4-speed automatic.
No, they didn't have them from General Motors at that time. They had 2-speed automatics in 1964. I'm not sure which year they moved to the Turbo 400 and the 3-speed automatic. Maybe 67.
So it's
it
really
might have been a
242.
2-speed. There you go. Through 66, I think it was a 2-speed automatic. So in 67, could you order a 442 W30 with an automatic? Yes. Now here's the thing. The guy who ordered this is still alive. He worked for Oldsmobile. That's what he ordered it with. Next question. How could an automatic be racing in the NHRA? I'm explaining all this on our website now because so many people have reached out. So, and I put it in bold. Okay? Did you know 442 stands for 4x4-speed and dual exhaust? So we talk about what Floyd just said.
This is up here on our dreamgiveaway.com website for the 442 section of
Yes, it is.
the website. So Chris couldn't take it anymore with the amount of people who were saying,
I couldn't take it anymore.
I
I was about to jump out the window, but we're on the first floor. I couldn't hurt myself. And did you know that NHRA Super Stock and Stock had separate classes for stick shifts and automatics?
Well, Floyd did say then they added the Hurst shift or the quick
Correct,
shift
the dual gate
auto,
shifter.
yeah.
And that was, I believe, 68 that you could start getting them as an option. And of course, we gave away the Hurst Olds in 69. But let's go back to talking about the NHRA classes in the 60s. So the NHRA classes now are completely different. But in the 60s, Super Stock had 10 classes. Those classes were based upon a horsepower to rate ratio. 5 of those were for stick shift cars. 5 of those were for automatic cars. Now, I don't know how many stock classes they had in NHRA in the 60s and specifically in 1967, but I do know this. They had them for automatic and they had them for stick shift. This car, C stock automatic was the class. What's the C stand for? That is its horsepower to weight ratio category. And you know, you guys can look up all this information on NHRA historical sites that talk about that. They even, I saw it today, one of the sites still had the compression ratios that you were allowed for the heads and the engines.
There's a lot of people smarter than I am when it comes to that kind of stuff. There's a lot of
So,
rules.
we answered 2 things here. How can a 442 have an automatic from 1965 all the way through the end of the 442? You could get them as automatic. I don't know the last year they offered a stick. Probably mid-70s. Someone, if you know the answer, feel free to chime that in. Then NHRA. How could an automatic race in the NHRA? It's easy. Back in those days, you had automatic classes and you had stick shift classes. Totally easy. Here's what we're trying to do. So the original owner, the gentleman who was a young man when he worked at Oldsmobile back in the day at the Milford Proving Grounds, like I told you, he's still around, he's still in Michigan. We're trying to get him to fly down here to the Dream Giveaway Garage and to try to get him on a Facebook Live so that he can tell you the story firsthand about ordering this Oldsmobile 442 W30. So he can tell you the story firsthand about being at the Milford Proving Ground back in the glory days of the muscle car era, so that he can tell you the story about how he raced the Indy Nationals in that very car that you can win. This is all factual information. So we're going to work on that. We're going to try to get him on down here. It's a great time to come visit Florida in January and February. So keep your fingers crossed. We're going to try to get him out of the snowbound Michigan and down here for a day. And he's going to tell you all about the car. And it might bring tears to his eyes. It might bring tears to your eyes. PJ, what's going on?
Lanzoya says, can't beat Chris's automotive knowledge.
Thank you so much.
You want to go take a look at that 442?
Let's go take a look at that 442, shall we?
All right. And it's quite a ways down here. In the
Did you sneak peek what you just walked around?
No, I was very good because we got something that's starting on Sunday that's right behind us.
We can't talk about it until tomorrow. Then maybe we'll talk about it a little bit.
All right. Here it is.
Okay. So, 442, you know it's got to have the 4-barrel, right?
An automatic 442.
Now, would you like to hear an interesting piece of trivia? The 442 W30s in 1966 didn't have 4 barrels.
Oh my goodness.
So, if you had a 1966 Oldsmobile 442 W30 automatic, you didn't have the 4 or the 2, or you didn't have the 4 or the 4. You just got the 2. Right? So it had a tri-power like a Pontiac. Underneath that wonderful looking Ram air cleaner setup, you've got a nice 4-barrel sitting on there. First year of the Rochester Quadrajet for General Motors products, I'm pretty sure.
So unlike the Ram Air functionality of the GTO over there, with the hood opening, getting the air in.
So instead of, same idea, but instead of routing the air through the hood like on the Pontiac, they routed it through the grill. And here you can see the dual snorkels. Now what's interesting is, what would normally be, where would it be on this here? Either on this side or that side. Battery. Where's the battery?
Where's the battery,
because the Ram Air took the place of where the battery would go. They had to relocate the battery to
It's in the trunk, is it?
in the trunk. And that's a factory deal. They move the battery back to the trunk. The drag racers will tell you it'll give you a little more, oomph in the back, a little more squat in the back, because you're moving that weight ratio a little bit farther back, and you're putting a little more weight on those rear wheels, right? So it's very common for racers to put a battery in the trunk. On the Oldsmobile, done at the factory that way. The other thing interesting on this 442, again, it has 33,000 miles.
Original.
Yeah, frame off restoration.
Oof.
Transistorized ignition.
Oh,
And let me correct that. It's a capacitive discharge ignition, or a CD ignition, not CD like you put in the CD player. Capacitive discharge uses capacitors inside of that box, often mistaken for transistorized ignition.
Were they all black like this? I don't know.
No, you could order any color you want. If you wanted avocado green or harvest gold to match your refrigerator, PJ, they would do it for you.
I wish we had one of those, but that black looks pretty impressive.
It's great, black on black. And think of it, this car would really put fear into competitors. Think of it, a black on black car.
There's no stick shift.
No stick shift.
Because it's not an standard.
And we haven't talked about it, but there were some crazy stories about they put a special turbo 400 in it for the Indy races, and the tech inspectors didn't like it because they were going faster than everybody else in the class.
So the 442 really broke their own rules.
Well, really did.
Naming
So
conventions.
after 1964, the phrase 442 simply became a word. What had made up that word in 1964 was no longer strictly adhered to. So you just called it a 442.
Chris,
Now,
do you have a cheat sheet in the back of this thing on the side here? Chris always has his cheat sheet of which month these things
no, wait,
end.
you and I have to gotta
We have
pull
not
out the,
put his
let's
cheat
pull out
sheet
the
on
label
it.
maker and deal with that, shall we? By the way, the original owner autographed the glove box.
Oh, nice.
So that's going to be so nice. How often? Think of all the cool things about this Olds. Oldsmobile employee, Milford Proving Ground engineer, raced at Indy, 33,000 original miles, frame off restoration. This is a holy grail. It really is a holy grail of the entire muscle car era. How do you get your tickets to win this fabulous classic car? PJ, why won't someone ask me?
Well, actually, Dave says after the video, I'll be getting my tickets. I
Good.
love the whole 4042 line throughout the years. Besides winning in the end, it's for the charity.
It really is. And someone, just like Terry went home in the Explorer. I talked to her today. Did I tell you?
Very nice. No, you did not.
Side story. Terry, who won the Explorer here on Friday and drove it home, they got home on Sunday. She said it was a blast. They're going to send us some photos and we'll share them with you guys. You could be the next big grand prize winner here. You never know where you're going to win. The trip to Daytona. PJ told you guys yesterday, if you don't have a ticket, you know what your chance is of winning? Tell them, PJ.
Zero.
Zero. If you at least have some chances,
Somebody will win it.
somebody will win it.
Today's the last day to get tickets.
Today's
though.
the last day. You got 10 hours left on Daytona.
And how do you get your tickets, Chris?
PJ, that is so nice of you to ask. You go to dreamgiveaway.com, use promo code Facebook Live, or if you got an email with a better offer that I can't say on live TV, then use that one, get your bonus tickets. We're going to be drawing that winner as we showed you in the official rules on January 24th.
Beautiful.
And what's today?
Today is Tuesday the 10th.
10th. What are we doing in 2 days, PJ?
Oh, 2 days. We've got
Yeah.
the 2 Corvette Winter Selection Day.
2 days. We're not going to walk back over there because you might accidentally show something top secret. But in 2 days, we're going to pick the winner of the 2 Corvettes and the Backyard Buddy Lift. Then, a week from Friday, January 20th, we're going to have Terry, not the same Terry from Texas who just won the Explorer, Terry from Ohio who won the F-350. Terry will be here, and they'll be driving home the F-350 after the awards ceremony.
Chris, I wish I could turn around and show everybody what we've got coming up for Sunday.
It is so cool. Everybody in the Dream Giveaway Garage loves it because it combines one sort of style with a whole new attitude. What do you say, PJ?
I do. I love the color.
I love the color too, PJ. Well, we'll get to that. I'm out tomorrow. I'm going to be up at the Mecum auction seeing if there's any cool cars for us to give away in 23 and 24.
Chris, we need more cars in the garage.
Like we need more cars. We need to give away more cars. And then we'll be back, PJ and I'll be back on Friday. So, you know what that means, PJ? We're going to have to put that winner's call for the Corvette.
We'll take care of it.
Okay, very good. All right, guys, thanks for joining us. If you have any more questions about that 442, go to our website, dreamgiveaway.com, where we explain what 442 stands for, when they changed it, and NHRA, why automatics were allowed in NHRA in the 60s. So we'll see you guys next time. More great fun, more great action, more great grand prizes, like a trip to Daytona. Today's your last day to enter. An Oldsmobile 442, and over 20 grand prizes in total. You can see them all at dreamgiveaway.com. And we'll see you next time in our favorite place on earth, the Dream Giveaway Garage.
See you next time, everyone.